Do you think blue line blast from the lunar ice ring would still be floating in space when these three galaxies combine?
I think it would have circumvented the entire known galaxy. It's that quick. That's what I think.
Do you think
We're gonna go back to the moon and Mars and stuff, but when we get there, just put a little hockey rink out there. I mean, it's freezing in space, right?
yeah,
And yeah,
no
I think
refrigeration is necessary. No refrigeration. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean, imagine blue line blast just flying off into the nether regions of space, eventually puncturing an alien spacecraft. They track it down. They want revenge. They fly to the moon. They drop off. We get a little tussle, line brawl, Brahmas, aliens. Who doesn't want that?
Well, Gloves Off, Season 2, Episode number 3. Sam Sequenzia, Chad Seward, proud to be sponsored by Sub 70 Golf. We'll have to turn our guest on to Sub 70 Golf apparel here pretty soon, but it's the legend, the one and only Jake Kupsky. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Absolutely. So, for Brahma fans who don't know, and there's very few of them, but we'll give them a pass. Jake carries the distinction of being the first Brahma ever drafted after being a Brahma. So we had plenty of draft picks when we were in the Central Hockey League and the Western Professional Hockey League that came to us later on in their career, some way later on. Jake was the first guy to go from Brahmas to the NHL draft, 7th round pick of the San Jose Sharks. So congrats. You're forever in the history books for that, buddy.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, it was an unbelievable experience down there in Lone Star, and then being lucky enough to get drafted was super cool.
So let's talk one thing. So you from Waukesha, Wisconsin. I got that right, right?
Right. Yep.
So you play 4 years at Waukesha High School, and then how did you get on the radar of Dan Walfong?
So Dan had played with a local coach in the Waukesha area called Mike Watt, and Mike kind of put me on to Dan and said, "Hey, go down to this top-notch showcase. Dan will make sure there's a spot for you," because I think it was full at the time, and I had no idea what I wanted to do or where to go after high school. And did really well down there, and started talking to Dan right away, and then things just kind of fell into place that off season where I had gone to camp and made it, and then kind of stuck from there. So,
yeah, we were. It's funny that top-notch camp is coming up this weekend, so it's a good time and a relevant thing to talk about. But you came on our second year in the North American Hockey League, and your netminder partner was TJ Black. You guys were the duo. Before you and TJ came along, it was a revolving door of goaltenders. It was the saddest thing ever. And then after the draft pick with you, we've had a very long story. We've become like a goaltender farm. We had another goaltender drafted, and it is a D1 heaven. You, of course, played for Union College.
Yep.
And talk to us about how was that getting recruited by them? Did you have a lot of other offers, or did you just jump on it and want to go to Union, or how?
I was talking to a few teams. Like obviously we were doing really well that year, and both me and TJ's numbers were incredible, and so a lot of teams were kind of coming and watching us. And Union was the first team to actually like take it really seriously, where they came down and watched me in a practice, and then watched me that weekend in games, and did pretty well. And they pretty much said, "Hey, like, well, we want you to come in next year." And I was looking to go to school as early as I could. So I think that was probably the best educational or academic school I could get into. So I just kind of jumped on it, and they have an unbelievable program there, academically, and their hockey programs. I mean, winning the national championship in 2014 was a pretty big turn on for me to go there a couple of years after. So yeah, they kind of offered, and then I jumped all over it.
And your time in Brahma Land, I mean, that was an exciting year that was also the last year that the Robertson Cup was played at home venues.
Yeah.
We lost in gut-wrenching fashion, if you remember, in the semifinal round, the Final Four, to the Austin Bruins.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So Austin.
Overtime, late.
Yeah.
It was
Still
heartbreaking. And then ever since then, it's been Robertson Cup has been at a neutral location, and Frank and our ownership and I and Dan, we've been fighting to move it to the home and home. But that was an exciting season. And then out of the blue, you know, for Nick Merrick and I, he texts me. You holy shit, Jake just got drafted.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, did you have any idea you were going to be drafted? Had you talked to anybody? How did that go down?
Yeah, so me and my agent were kind of going back and forth, and there was a few teams interested. And so it was always going to be like the 7th round late if I was going to get drafted. So I really wasn't paying attention too much, but the two teams had a couple picks late in the 7th round. So I was kind of watching, and the first team went and I didn't get picked, and the second team went and I didn't get picked. So I kind of like, okay, like whatever. And I was going golfing with my dad, my buddy and his dad. So I just went upstairs, got changed, and then I went back downstairs real quick and kind of turned on the computer and just kind of refreshed it and looked. And then San Jose, it said John Kupsky, and that's my first name, but that's not what I go by. So I was just like, I kind of looked at it and I was like, I looked at my dad and I was like, I think I just got drafted to San Jose. And sure enough, I get a phone call. But yeah, I didn't know anything that San Jose they were on my radar at all. And they kind of called me and were basically like, hey, we've been watching you all year. Like, we're really excited about having you. So.
And like for the fans, they see that and they're like, oh my God, Kupsky's going to be playing for the Sharks next year. And it's not quite how it works. So explain to our fans how that works. So you are drafted, so you're San Jose's property, but you're also Union's property. You go to rookie camps, or how does that work for the next couple of years?
And basically, obviously, like at being drafted, San Jose would own my rights, and then it's basically up to them when they want to sign me, right? So like if I had a really good freshman year and they thought I was ready right then and there, they could have signed me after that. Basically, the plan with them was kind of go through all 4 years, and then we'd see. I didn't have the best college numbers. So after my senior year, I went out to San Jose and practiced with their AHL team for a month and a half until the season ended. Never got a game, and then kind of came to the conclusion with them that it probably wasn't in my best interest to go that way. So I just became a free agent, and then have been just kind of grinding ever since.
Yeah, and you've been in the ECHL and the SPHL, which of course you're the reigning champs. Just fresh. Yep. Just about a week and a half ago, you guys won the title down at President's Cup.
Yeah.
How was that? How were the crowds? Was it limited with COVID? I mean, that arena in Pensacola, my family goes to that beach all the time. We drive by it. It's a cool place, and when it's full, it's got to be super cool.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable rink. So the SP only had 5 teams going this year, and all 5 teams are pretty dominant teams with a pretty big fan base. So depending on like the whole COVID protocols, some teams were like filling the whole rink. Like when we went to Birmingham, and I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for saying that or get the league in trouble, but Birmingham was packed every night, which was unbelievable. And it's like a similar rink to NITEX, where it's just like a small rink, and it gets really loud. So that rink was incredible. Our rink is super cool. We usually pack it, but with COVID, I think we were at like 50% or something like that. But in the playoffs, it was so loud and so cool. And then same thing for like Macon and Knoxville. It was just a lot of fans, and it was awesome to be playing in front of all of them this year.
And so, did you have any time to celebrate? Did you get to go out to the beach and celebrate, or did you have to get straight back in the car and go to?
Yeah. So we had won on the road. So we won the first game at home, and then we played Macon at Macon. So we won on the road. So we celebrated in the locker room. The management brought in beers, champagne, cigars. So we were there for a couple hours after we won, and then it was like a 6-hour bus ride home. So we pretty much partied all bus ride home, got home, took a little bit of a nap, and then we went out to the Blue Wahoos stadium. And they kind of did a thing for us where we brought the trophy on the field before the game and kind of celebrated down there for a little bit, and then we went downtown, celebrated downtown, and then the next day we celebrated on the beach, and it was a blast. It was so much fun with those guys.
I was in the Pensacola last summer, and I don't remember the kid's name, but there was a guy, we were at Flounders. I don't know if you're familiar with Flounders.
Very familiar. Yeah.
I figured as much. And there was a guy at the bar, a tall guy. He had a bunch of girls around him. He's telling stories, and he's missing one of his front teeth. And I looked at my wife and I said, $100 says that guy plays for the ice pilots.
Ice Flyers. Used to be Ice Pilots. Yeah.
She said, what's the giveaway? I'm like, he's surrounded by girls, he's tall, and he's missing a tooth.
Yeah.
And 100% was.
Did you ever figure out who it was or no?
He told me, and it kind of went in one ear and I don't know. He was on a mission that night. He didn't have any time for old man Chad here. So, okay, you celebrate, and then now what? Now you get called up to the South Carolina Stingrays?
Yeah, so there was some injuries here, and then I had been here for 2 months before, so I got a call from the coach asking if I'd come up or want to come up, and I'd love to. It's a great group of guys here, and we're kind of in a playoff chase, and it's an opportunity to kind of be up in this league, so I kind of jumped at the opportunity and was really looking forward to it.
Is it a noticeable change of pace to go from the SP to the EC?
Yeah, I think this year it's a little bit similar because there's half the teams are not playing, and then half the EC or half the SPHL teams aren't playing. So there's a lot of talent everywhere. So the leagues this year are somewhat similar. So it's not that crazy of a jump or anything like that. And I've spent a lot of time in this league already. So played my first game last Sunday. So it was good to get back in the cage and kind of get up to speed with things.
And after the season, what's the next move for Jake Kupsky?
I think I'm going to go home and have a pretty typical summer. Work with my goalie coach back home in Madison, and just kind of work a little bit, play some golf, and then hopefully re-sign with the Steelheads this year. That's where I was originally signed before I headed to Pensacola, but they weren't playing this year. So that's my plan.
Nice. And a couple more things for Kupsky. So it's funny, on my desk, a guy handed me over the weekend a signed jersey, which we're going to do a little contest for the fans. Like, share, comment on this post, and you're going to be entered into a drawing to win this signed jersey from Jake's year here in Brahma land. But I'm curious, it's been over 5 years since you played for the Brahmas. I wonder how well you remember your teammates.
Oh, very well. Very well.
Okay. Well, you're a smart guy, and you haven't taken too many pucks to the head, so I think you'll do well. But I'm gonna throw some numbers at you. You tell me the player name.
I don't know if I'm good with. I'm not really good with numbers, but we'll see.
Okay, we'll see. We'll start with an easy one. 29.
29. TJ Black.
Yes, sir. All right. How about 93?
Pat Egan.
Very good. That one stumped owner Frank Trezera. He had no recollection.
You can't forget that guy. He's one of a kind.
He is one of a kind. All right. Speaking of one of a kind, how about number 91?
Liam Sterzinger. Yeah.
Did you get to play against him? He had a little bit of time in the SP this year, I believe.
I never got to play against him. I wish I did. He was my vet. So me and him were pretty close. That would have been cool to play against him, but no.
All right. Well, one more, because I feel like you could nail all these. How about number 18?
18. Is that Nick Ford?
No, close.
18.
Initials RU.
Oh, Romanuchin.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yep. Yeah. All right, so this jersey we'll have a contest for that, Brahma fans. That's awesome. Good stuff. Good memory, man. That some of those you only played 1 year for us, so it's.
I know, like I tell everyone, if I could go back to 1 year playing hockey, I think it would definitely be that year with Lone Star. It was incredible organization, and that year we had such a good group in the locker room. It was so much fun. So,
well, before we leave, because I know you're busy, you probably got to get a pregame nap in. we're in the middle of playoffs. We're down 0-2 to the Wichita Falls Warriors. If you could speak directly to our goalies, what would you say to keep them motivated, to keep them grinding here?
Just relax and enjoy it. I think the playoffs are the most fun during the season, and you don't want to go in there with too much pressure. Just enjoy the moment, be in the moment, and just get in front of the puck. It's going to hit you.
I love it. Well, Jake, we appreciate your time. I'm sure the fans are going to get a kick out of seeing you again. Best of luck in the rest of the season with South Carolina. If you come down here in Texas, we got to tee it up. How's the golf game?
Golf game's tight right now. It's good. I've been golfing all year, so
where do you golf in Pensacola? Tiger Point?
So I've golfed Tiger Point a bunch, but we were actually in Perdido Key this year. So Lost Key, Perdido Bay. They got a bunch of good golf courses down there.
Yes.
But yeah, Charleston's got a ton of good golf courses too. So I'm kind of looking out in the golf. But yeah, the golf game's been good.
Okay, good. Well, holler at me if you're in Texas. We'll play. And thanks again for the time. We'll see you, Jake.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. It was a blast. We'll see you guys.
All right, take care.
You too.
Let's talk about one thing. So obviously, you either live in a recording studio, or you are voiceover mic. That's your website, right? Voiceovermic.com. Voiceovermic.com. Indeed, yes. So you do, of course, baseball, football in the fall, hockey, and then you've carved out a little niche for yourself. What are you going to read? Audiobooks?
Well, folks, write in and tell us what you think of a Mitchell Digby Blue Line blast from the Lunar Ice Rink. And until then, I love you.
Baby arm.
Baby arm.
Great job, everyone. Great job.
Awesome, man.
8! Brilliant!
And take 2. Go.
Yeah, ready?
Anybody say that? Ask me for light, and I got that the coin. It's all expression. You're gonna play it. What are you doing over there? That's a really impressive Kenny Robbins. It is. I know it all.
Of the Lone Star Brahmas media team. I am not Chad Seward. Instead, I am Graham Burke, and I am the goal. Okay. All right. No, you're chill. Hey.
Okay, I got it, guys. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best.
Thank you,
that ever
lads.
was. Love you, mean it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your day.
Barbasol contest or something? Something about shaving your beard. Okay. It'd be funny. I should shave it and then like nick it like 1,000 times. So I've got like like Def Leppard jeans. All right, here we go. Ready? And yeah.
Okay. And take 2. Go.
Yeah,
It is.
I know it all.